Good morning to all of you. Today we are going to start with science part 1 students. Sorry, part 2, chapter number 5. Okay, that is towards green energy. Okay, now in this chapter, first of all, tell me what is mean by energy. According to you, what is energy, students? Give the answers in the public chat. Capacity to do work. Very good, Neha Pal. It is the capacity to do the work. Okay, so energy is nothing but capacity to do the work. Very good. So now you know different types of energy. Can you name some forms of energy, students, in the public chat? Potential and kinetic energy. Very good, Yashasvi. Chemical energy. Very good, Riya Tiwari. Solar energy. Very good, Drishti. Mechanical energy. Okay, Aryan. Good. Nuclear energy. Very good, Vidhi. Electrostatic. Very good, Samir. Okay, muscular energy. Okay, so various types of energy, you all know it. Heat energy. Very good. Okay, so you all know what is energy, what are the different types of energy, right? Now here you are going to learn about green energy, towards the green energy. The lesson itself says that we should use green energy, right? Now there are different forms of energy, different types. Now what do you mean by types? Types are actually two only. Okay, what are they? Potential and kinetic energy. Whereas different forms of energy, you all told me, that is heat energy, light energy, sound energy. These are the different forms of energy. Okay, so today we are going to learn how energy is used. Okay, use of this energy. We use energy for our primary needs. It is a very basic and our primary need, right? For various types of work, we need energy. Okay? We need energy of different forms for various types of work, right? Like mechanical energy we need chemical energy, we need sound energy, light energy, or heat energy. Okay, for cooking the food, we need heat energy, right? For hearing something, we need sound energy. Okay, so these are different forms of energy which we use in our daily life, right? So energy we can convert also from one form to another, right? By transformation, we can transform the energy from one form to another form. Like you can convert the sound energy to light energy, mechanical energy to heat energy. Okay, in this way you can transform the energy. Okay, so this was used by man. Why he used this? To satisfy his needs. There were several needs. Okay, so for that, human beings started using the energy. Okay, now let us learn how energy is generated. Okay, so I'm going to share this with a little information about energy. Now let me share my screen with you, students, to start the today's chapter on green energy. So I'm going to share my screen, everyone. I hope all are ready with your books, okay? Books and pen, so that you can note down important points. At the same time, textbook, so that any diagram, if you want to check, you can check it, right? So let us begin with today's lesson. Science part 2, lesson number 5, towards green energy. In this lesson, you're going to learn use of various energy sources, generation of electrical energy, and process of generation of electricity and environment. So let us begin with the first topic, that is generation of electrical energy. Okay, use of various energy sources. I already told you just now how we can generate electrical energy, that we are going to learn now. Okay, so the scientist who invented the principle of electromagnetic induction, can you name the name that scientist, students? Was the scientist who invented the electromagnetic induction? give you answers in Faraday. So Michael Faraday invented the principle of electromagnetic induction. Now this principle is largely used in what? Generation of electricity. Okay. So this principle is as follows. A potential difference is generated across a conductor whenever magnetic field around a conductor changes. So whenever you are changing the magnetic field around a conductor, any conductor, you can take good conductor. Okay, what will happen? The potential difference is generated. That means what? There is a difference in the potential across the conductor. So in two ways, the field around a conductor is changed. That is, first, you have to keep the conductor stationary and rotate the magnet. What is the first method? You have to keep the conductor stationary. Okay. And then you have to keep on rotating the magnet. The second method is what? Keep the magnet stationary and change the field around the conductor. You have to keep on changing the field. Okay. Magnetic field. So in both cases, what will happen? There will be potential difference created across the conductor because we want to create what? Potential difference. Now you can observe in this diagram which shows electromagnetic induction and steam turbine. Okay. Now what is this? In both the cases, what happens? There is creation of potential difference across the conductor. Okay. So the electric generators are based on this principle. They generate what? Electric power. You all have seen generators. So this is how the schematic diagram looks like. Okay. Electromagnetic induction and the steam turbine. You can see the how the circuit diagram is. Okay. There is a coil. There are lines of flux. Rotating magnetic field is shown over there and voltmeter is connected. Okay. And induced EMF is there. Okay. That is electromagnetic friction. So such large generators are used where? In commercial power generation plants. That means what? In industries and factories. So they use turbines, big turbines to rotate the magnet in the generator. Okay. As, in the turbine, steam turbine, you can see there are blades. Okay. Wheel is shown, a shaft is shown there. Nozzle is there. High velocity steam is applied through the nozzle. Okay. A turbine has what? Blades. When a flow of liquid or gas is directed on the blades of the turbine, what will happen? It will rotate. Okay. Why it rotate? Because kinetic energy is there. There is kinetic energy which helps to rotate the turbine. And the turbine is connected to what? It is connected to the generator. Okay. And then thus the magnet in electric generator will start rotating. And what is produced, students? Can you tell me what is produced when when it will start rotating? Put the answer in the chat box. Very good. Electrical energy is produced. Okay. So in this way, electrical energy is generated. I hope you understood how the production of electricity by generators using steam turbine and by using the electromagnetic induction process. Okay, where magnet is used. Okay, magnet is rotated, right? So schematic diagram of electric generator is also there, which I will be showing now. Okay, so that is about the generation of electricity, right? Anyone is having any doubt in this topic? Everyone understood well? And students, be on time. Some are still entering. Be exactly at proper time. 10:45 means 10:45 only. Okay. Don't be late to join the session. Otherwise, you will miss some of the topics. Okay. Thank you, Samir, Mrinal. Okay. No doubt. Okay, fine. So let us move to the next topic, students. Because lesson is lengthy, we have to finish the lesson also. I want all your attention here. No going here and there. Okay. So let us continue with the next topic. Now here in the diagram, you can see the electric generator. This is the diagram which shows the electric generator, which is having rotating electric magnet. Okay, in the center you can see the diagram and shows electric magnet which keeps on rotating. And what it is generating, as you all told me, what is generated? Electrical energy is generated. When it rotates, what happens? The electrical energy is generated. Okay, so proper energy source to run the turbine we need. Then turbine rotates and generator will generate the electrical energy. So in this way, you can make the flow chart. Okay, after writing the answer, you can have to make the flow chart showing generation of electrical energy, which is given in your page number 48 of your textbook. Okay, fine. So next is thermal energy based electric power station. That is thermal power plant. Okay, now in this what happens, the turbine is rotated using what? Steam. Okay, here we have to use the steam, right? Turbine rotates because of steam. Water is heated. Now how steam is produced? When water is heated, we will get the steam. Okay, water has to be heated inside the boiler, right? So using the thermal energy, what happens? There is, when the thermal energy is released by burning of coal, steam of high temperature comes out, right? Such a high temperature steam and with high pressure. Okay, steam is having very high temperature, high pressure. So the energy in the steam will drive the turbine. Because of this high temperature and high pressure, what happens? The turbine starts rotating. Okay, so and then, you know, generator is already connected. Always the generator will be connected to the turbine. As the turbine rotates, what is generated again here? Electrical energy is generated. And the steam is converting back into water. Immediately what happens? The steam gets converted back into water, and again the same water is recirculated to the boiler. Okay, so this is shown in this you can say flow chart you can make, where the fuel is coal, boiler for conversion of water to steam, where you are using the system for converting steam back to water is also attached. Then it will be attached to a steam turbine, finally to the generator, and then what is produced? Electrical energy. Now in the diagram you can see the schematics of thermal power plant. The schematics of thermal power plant shows a stack, okay, from where the steam is evolved, and there is a combustion of gases taking place to the stack. Fuel and air is filled in the boiler. There is a pump, okay, a generator is connected, condenser is there, warm water is applied through the pump, a turbine is also there. Okay, all the labelings are shown in your textbook, page number 49, figure number 5.7, schematics of thermal power plant. Okay, there is a cooling tower from where the vapor and hot air evolves. Okay, so I hope that diagram is very much clear to you. So this diagram shows what? Schematics of thermal power plant. Okay, students. So which fuel we are using for this thermal power plant? Which is the starting fuel to be used here, students? Put the answers in the public chat. First, what we have to use here? Okay, coal. Very good. We are using the coal. Then what we are doing? That fuel coal we have to convert in the boiler. Okay, conversion of water to steam is done. Then steam turbine is there, which generates electrical energy. Okay, steam is rotating the turbine. Why steam is rotating? Because of high pressure and high temperature. So that's why it is called as thermal energy based electric power station. Okay, so I hope everyone understood. Anybody is having any doubt in this topic? Let me clear it. No doubt. Okay, thank you, Aryan, Mrunal, Kushi. Okay, fine. So the schematic diagram is also clear to you of the power plant. Okay, fine. Okay, Siddesh, Aryan, all are answering. Thank you. Okay, moving to the next topic. Let me share my screen, students. Our next topic is related to what? Nuclear fission. Okay, nuclear fission. That is, before that, I would like to say something about nuclear energy. Then I will start with nuclear fission. Okay, nuclear energy. Now, what is this nuclear energy? You studied now about thermal energy. Similarly, there is nuclear energy. Okay, now it is also a form of energy which is based on power plant. So in the power plant, nuclear energy is produced. How it is produced? Steam turbine is used here. Okay, again it will rotate the generator. Now energy, how it is released from the nucleus, okay, by the fission. That's why I am shown here the nuclear fission, how the nuclear fission occurs. Okay, you might have heard about this nuclear fission. What exactly happens in nuclear fission, I will tell you, students. So there are some protons and neutrons in the nucleus. You all know in the nucleus of an atom. Okay, so during that nuclear fission, what happens? The nucleus will divide. It will undergo fission. Fission means what? Division of nucleus. Either due to what? Natural radiation, or due to bombardment of some other neutrons on it. Some other neutrons will hit this nucleus. Okay, that's why what will happen? Nucleus will break. There is fission. Okay, that's why the diagram shows nuclear fission from one nucleus to 2 to 4, 4 to 8, like that way it will divide. This fission will liberate what? Energy. And that energy is nothing but atomic energy or nuclear energy. What you can say about that? It is atomic or nuclear energy. Okay. So the energy in the steam will rotate the turbine, which will turn the generator producing electrical energy, right? So in this, in your textbook page number 50, there is schematic, there is flow chart of nuclear power plant. Okay, just go through it, students. Nuclear reactor is will be there for nuclear fission. And what is the main fuel to be supplied here? Put in the chat box, students. You have to supply which fuel here first? Uranium or plutonium. Okay, so that is the main fuel to be supplied. Then there is a system for steam generation from water. You have to boil the water and steam will be generated. Then steam will be passed to the steam turbine. Now note down, students, there is one more thing. There is a system for conversion of steam back into water. Okay, that is shown by the arrow below. And then the steam from the steam turbine, it goes to the generator, and generator will give us the electrical energy. So here nuclear energy is converted into which energy? Students, put in the chat box. Nuclear energy is converted into which energy? Thermal energy. Very good. So thermal energy is converted then into kinetic energy of the steam, because thermal energy will rotate the turbine. Okay, kinetic energy of the steam is used here, and kinetic energy of the steam is converted into what? Kinetic energy of the turbine. Okay, and finally kinetic energy of turbine is converted into what? Electrical energy. So you can see the step-by-step transformation of energy, how it will be. Nuclear energy is first converted to thermal energy, right? Then thermal energy is converted to what? Kinetic energy in the steam. Then kinetic energy in the turbine. And finally, what we are getting? Electrical energy. Okay, so this is how the process takes place. So when neutron is bombarded an atom of uranium-235, okay, it absorbs the neutron and converts it into what? Isotopes. Okay, isotope are called uranium-236. Okay, so uranium-236 is very unstable. Okay, that's why it gets converted into two atoms. One is barium, another is krypton. So in the diagram you can see uranium gets converted to Ba and Kr. You can see in this nuclear fission. Okay, so barium and krypton is produced due to the nuclear fission, and along with that 3 neutrons are generated, and there is energy produced. How much energy is produced? 200 megavolts. Okay, so the 3 neutrons generated in this process will cause fission of 3 other uranium-235 atoms, releasing more energy. So in this way, it keeps on, this fission keeps on continuing. Okay, so that neutrons finally released is in this reaction will release more and more energy. Okay, more and more energy is released from the uranium nucleus. So this process of fission of uranium-235 atoms will continue. And what we can say this reaction as, students? Can anybody tell if the reaction continues? You all have studied this. If the reaction keeps on, very good Riya Tiwari, it is called chain reaction. Okay, so the chain reaction occurs here, and because of chain reaction, more and more energy is produced. Okay, so in this way, fission of uranium-235 atoms occurs. Okay, and that's why it is called as a chain reaction, right? So in nuclear power plant, a controlled chain reaction will result in release of thermal energy. So there is a release of thermal energy here. Okay, which is used for what? Thermal energy is used for electrical energy generation. Okay, fine. So that is about the nuclear energy. I hope everyone understood what is nuclear energy and how this energy is produced by the process called nuclear fission. Okay, what is the first fuel to be used here, students? Write in the public chat. Which fuel we are using here? Uranium. Very good, Yashasvi. Very good, Riya. Om Karkera. Okay, so uranium is the first ingredient which we are using for production of energy here. So I hope you all understood very much clear how power plant based on nuclear energy is, right? Okay, still many students are coming. Okay. Fine. Let us move to the next topic. Now, what is the problem faced in this? Let us see. So there are some problems also. It is not what you can say the products of fission of nuclear fuel are radioactive. You know, if it is radioactive, what will happen? What is generated from that? Harmful radiation. Very good, students. Yashasvi has given the answer. Riya, it will emit what? Harmful radiation. Do you think these harmful radiations are good? No. Yes. So what we have to do, the products are what we can say they are nuclear waste. Okay. Actually, what we can say they are nuclear waste. So how to dispose this waste? That is a big question in front of us. Okay. So it is a challenge for several scientists how we can dispose the waste. Otherwise, what will happen? Human beings will suffer, animals will suffer, plants will suffer because of this radiation. It can cause cancer type diseases. So an accident in nuclear power plant is very fatal. Means what? Very dangerous. Okay. So because of this accident, it will release what? Harmful radiations. And harmful radiations are very fatal to human life, to the environment. Right? So therefore, we cannot permanently depend on nuclear energy. Okay. So I hope you understood this topic very well. Let me share my screen with you for the next continuing topic. Okay. Thank you, students. Now, next topic is power plant based on natural gas. Okay. Now, now here in this plant, the turbine is run by a gas, right? The natural gas at very high temperature and pressure is generated by what? Combustion of natural gas, by heating the natural gas. Okay. So a flow chart is shown in page number 52. I want you all to refer that 5.12 diagram arrangement, how it is done. Okay. So there are three main sections in this type of plant. Okay. So what we have to do? We have to supply pressurized air, okay, into the combustion chamber. Air is applied with a very high pressure using a compressor. Okay. So in the combustion chamber, what is their natural gas which will burn in presence of air. And the gas, when it burns at high temperature and pressure, what will happen? It will generate, or it will turn or run the turbine. Okay. The turbine will start rotating, and because of this, it will drive the generator. And finally, what is produced? Electrical energy or electricity is produced by this. So how it is step by step transformed? Chemical energy in natural gas will get converted to kinetic energy. Okay. So here you observe that there is conversion or transformation of energy taking place in every step. So kinetic energy is generated how? By combustion of natural gas. Okay. Then this energy is converted to kinetic energy in turbine, and finally we are getting electrical energy. Okay. So you can see the diagram which shows schematic of power plant based on natural gas. Now here, what all things should be labeled? A fuel is there. Okay. There's a combustion chamber. Gas turbine is there. Emission of hot gases are there. Then generator which generates electricity and electrical energy is produced. You can observe 5.14 schematic of power plant based on natural gas, page number 52. Okay, so this is how it is arranged. Okay, the schematic of power plant. Okay, so the efficiency of this type of power generation is higher than that of power generation plant based on coal. So you have studied also of coal, but the efficiency is more in what? This natural gas, right. Moreover, since the natural gas does not contain sulfur, okay, it will not contain sulfur. Burning of natural gas results in less pollution. So here we can say that there will not be pollution. Whereas if you're using coal, what was the drawback? It creates pollution of air. Understood? So that is the difference here. Okay. Now let us see how electrical energy is generated and how it disturbs the environment. Okay, so we have seen burning of many fuels like coal, natural gas. It leads to certain gases, certain soot particles like carbon particles are also emitted. So this results in what? Air pollution. Okay, so because of this there is air pollution. There is formation of carbon monoxide gas also, which will lead to what? Which will lead to again air pollution and several diseases, right? So there are many problems faced here also, some because of pollution, right? And there is also what you can say, increase in percentage of carbon dioxide in the air, because we are burning the fuel continuously. What happens? Global warming occurs. So there is phenomenon of global warming taking place. Even nitrogen dioxide also is generated because of burning of some of the fuels like coal, diesel, petrol, etc. And all this can cause acid rain. Okay, acid rain is also a problem. So air pollution takes place and it will lead to several respiratory diseases like asthma. Okay, so now that is all the problems created because of energy energy generation in the environment. Okay, and even you know, there are certain fuels like LPG and CNG. Okay, millions of years for this fuels to get formed. Okay, so these are fuels which are limited. Okay, so they can deplete in future, right? So we have to take care, we have to use it very fruitfully. So we have also discussed about problems in nuclear energy. I told you what happens if you are disposing nuclear energy. Several radiations are formed which are very harmful to the environment. Deplete means what? Reduce. Okay, Ria, what is the meaning of deplete? Means it will reduce. Okay, very less amount, very less or few. Okay, okay. Kushi Shukla, schematic means what? Just a diagram which shows the internal structure of the um, of the connection of the apparatus there, right? That is called a schematic diagram. Okay, actually it will look somewhat different, but internally it will be looking in this way. Okay, when you will remove the parts, you will find that internally schematically it is like that. Okay, I hope Kushi's doubt is cleared, Ria's doubt is cleared. Okay, okay, fine. Now let us move to the next topic, that is hydroelectric energy. What is hydroelectric energy? Can you tell me what will be used here as a main ingredient, students? Water. Very good, Kushi. What we are using here? Water. That's why the name came as hydroelectricity. Let me share my screen with you, students. So the diagram here shows about hydroelectric plant. Okay. Now this is also schematic diagram, how it actually looks like from internally. Okay. So schematic of hydroelectric plant. Now let us learn what is this hydroelectric energy. So what we have to use? We have to use the flowing water here. We have to use the kinetic energy is present in flowing water. Okay. Whenever water is flowing, what is there? Kinetic energy. Or if water is stored somewhere, what we can say? There is potential energy. So in hydroelectric power plant, we are using potential energy in water, which is stored in the dam. So dam is also shown in the diagram. From the dam, water is taken. It is converted into kinetic energy. That means what? Potential energy is transformed into kinetic energy here. Because of fast flowing of water from the dam, what will happen? There is a turbine connected at the end of the dam, right? Turbine is there. You can see at the bottom of the dam, there is a turbine shown over there. So that turbine starts rotating and kinetic energy of flowing water will drive the turbine. Turbine starts moving, and you know, when turbine starts moving, generator starts working and it will generate the electricity. So block diagram is shown in page number 53, students. Different stages are shown over there. Look at that. First of all, water reservoir with what? Potential energy, because we are taking the water from the dam. Okay, so water is having which energy now? Stored energy, that is potential energy, which will be used by water turbine. Okay, because the potential energy will flow of water will get converted to kinetic energy. Okay, when the water starts flowing, and that kinetic energy will what it will do? It will drive the turbine, water turbine, which will which will start the generator, and finally what we are getting? Electrical energy. So in the schematic diagram, you can see in the diagram there is a wall over there. 5.17 schematic of hydroelectric plant where reservoir is kept. ABC is written, that is from the dam. There is a big wall from where sluice gates are there. Okay, from there the water is taken. Okay, and then penstock from there to the turbine. The water enters and moves the generator where the potential energy gets converted to kinetic energy in the powerhouse. You can see generator is fitted, and from the generator electricity is generated, and that is passed through to the transformer. Okay, you can see in the diagram there is transformer also. Okay, so in this way, that is in this way you can draw the schematic of hydroelectric plant. So water from about middle of the total height of the dam is taken to the turbine. So that way we should use it. Okay. So now what are the advantages of this hydroelectric plant? There is no need of fuel here, right? So that is the advantage, right? We can directly depend on what? Water, which is available in abundant quantity. Rainwater is stored in the dams, okay? And that water we can use it. So no use of, no pollution here, first of all. Then you can write there is sufficient water stored to generate electricity, and whenever necessary you can take from the dam. All the water reservoir is used for power generation. It can be replenished during rainy season. So even if you're using the whole water in the rainy season, it can be refilled, right? Leading to what? Uninterrupted power generation. So that is the advantage of using this hydroelectricity, hydroelectric power station, right? Next, what are the disadvantages? Whenever there is advantage, there is some disadvantage also. Okay, so the backwater due to storage of water in dam may submerge villages or towns. The towns and villages nearby that place where dam is situated, that will get submerged in that area. Okay, so submerged means what? It may go below the surface. So this will lead to rehabilitation. So they have to change their residence from there, right? They have to rehabilitate the displaced population. Moreover, this can also submerge forest as well as fertile land. If any fertile land is there, forest is there, that will also get submerged, okay, because of dam. The obstruction of flow of river water may have adverse effect on living world in the river. Okay, so the obstruction of flow of water, okay, flow, because of flow of water, there will be adverse effect on what? Aquatic animals. Okay, aquatic animals like fishes in the river. So I hope you understood what are the problems we are facing and what are the advantages. Rehabilitation. Okay, Samir is asking what is rehabilitation means. What? They have to resettle in some other place. Okay, rehabilitate. Okay, they have to go from one place to other place. They cannot live nearby dam. Okay, it is very dangerous. So they have to shift their residence. That is called rehabilitation. Understood, Samir? I hope your doubt is cleared. Okay. Okay. Any others? Anything you want to ask? No? Sure? Can I proceed? Okay. Okay, again, Damesh is asking the same question, replenished. Okay, it's replenished, not rehabilitation. Replenished means what? It is completely used. Okay, refilled. Okay, fine. So the kinetic energy in wind has been used since long for lifting of water. Okay, we are using the wind energy for lifting the water, for driving the floor mill, etc. Right. So this wind energy can be used again for electrical generation. Right. So the machine which converts the kinetic energy of wind to electrical energy, what you can call that? Wind turbine. What is the name given for that? Wind turbine. What it does, what is the function of wind turbine? It will convert the wind energy into electrical energy. Okay. So as the wind strikes the blades of turbine, what will happen? The blade will keep on rotating. Okay. And the axle of the turbine, which is connected to electrical generator, they will go through the gearbox. Okay. You can see the diagram given in page number 55. I will share my screen also, students. Wait for some time. So our next is about wind. We have studied about coal, water. Okay, now it is about wind energy. So here what happens? The axle of the turbine is connected to the electric generator through a gearbox, right? So you can see the schematic of windmill. Okay, there's a small diagram you can see over here, or you can look in your textbook page number 55, right? Schematic of windmill, which shows the blades, bearing, shaft, gearbox is there, generator is attached, as well as shaft support is also given. So wind with required velocity is passed through wind turbine with large fins, which just moving the generator, and generator will give us electrical energy. These are the some of the stages how electricity is produced using the wind energy. Okay, so kinetic energy of the wind is converted here. Kinetic energy, it's not converted, it's used actually to move the turbine. Okay, then it is converted to electrical energy. So thus what will happen? The blades will keep on rotating, turbine will turn the generator, and generator will generate the electricity. This is how wind energy is used in transformation of energy into an electric generator using wind energy. Okay. So what is the capacity of this? 1 kilowatts to about 7 megawatts. Okay. That means what? 7,000 kilowatts. Okay. So these are commercially available. That means what? In big industries and factories it is available. So depending on the velocity of the winds, its installation has to be done. Okay, where the wind velocity is very high, and there are specific locations. Okay, you have to see the map where the wind is very high. Wind velocity should be very high, students. Like near the seashores, or appropriate place should be there where we can install the these wind turbines of different capacities, right? So, so these are the wind turbines. Okay, so you can see here the readings and the height given: 100 feet, 200 feet, 300 feet, like that they are mentioned here. Okay, 35 meter, 61 meter, then 92 meter. In this way, maximum 213 meters. Okay, so blade length is how much? 1.5 meter, and capacity is 2 kilowatts. If the blade length is 50 meter, capacity will be 2000 kilowatts in wind farm. At home it should be this much. And then offshore wind turbine, how it will be? Blade length will be 100 meters, and the capacity will be 6000 to 7000 kilowatts. Okay, so wind energy, we can say it is a clean energy source. Okay, it is a clean energy. However, what is the problem? Proper location should be there. Okay, that is mostly not available everywhere. So wind energy is having a limited use. Okay, so that is about this wind turbines. Okay, I hope you understood about wind energy, right? How wind energy is converted to electrical energy. Okay, so now moving to the next topic, that is electrical energy generation using solar energy. Okay, how solar energy can be used. Let me share my screen, students. How solar energy can be used. Let us go through it. Now, solar energy, it is used for electric energy generation in two ways. Okay, first of all, radiations from the sunlight. Okay, whatever radiations comes from the sunlight, without using a transformer, we can trap it directly into solar photovoltaic cell. Okay, so you can see in the diagram what I've shown here is solar panel made of 36 solar cells. In the PPT, you can see a panel. Okay, solar panel is there. How many cells are there? 36 solar cells are there, right? So this panel is used. Okay, so solar energy is trapped here in solar photovoltaic cells. Then what happens? Electric energy is produced from the solar energy due to direct conversion occurring in photovoltaic cells. So solar energy is converted into thermal energy. First, what we have to do? We have to convert the solar energy into thermal energy, and later we have to drive the turbine generator system by that thermal energy, and then what is generated? Electricity is generated. Now, what is the solar photovoltaic cell? Okay, solar photovoltaic effect. There is an effect which converts the solar energy directly into electrical energy. So, what is the function of this cell? It will convert the solar energy directly into which energy, students? Electrical energy. So, such generated energy is direct current. What we can say, it is a DC current in nature. DC means what? Direct current. So special material we have to use here. That is a semiconductor of silicon. You know, silicon is a semiconductor that is used for making these cells, solar cells. So if a silicon solar cells, how the dimension will be around 1 centimeter square. And then how much current will be produced? 30 milliamperes current will be produced, and potential difference will be around 0.5 volts. So silicon solar cells of dimension 100 centimeters square. It will generate how much current, students? It will generate 30 milliamperes, okay, which you can write as 3 amperes of current, okay, and 0.5 voltage. Okay. So the potential difference available from the solar cell is independent of its area. So how it will be? Energy will be generated from the sunlight, which will pass through the photovoltaic cell, that is called as a effect, photovoltaic effect, which will produce a direct current, that is electric power. Okay, so in this way, so solar cells has to be connected in series, or we can connect it in parallel. So there is a series connection as well as parallel connection. Okay, so now this is a solar thermal power plant. Okay. In the solar thermal power plant, what is used? Solar radiation is used for converting or solar energy to uh, electrical energy. Now this solar thermal energy is used for electrical production. Okay, so first there will be concentrators which will collect the sunlight. It will be absorbed by this, absorbing the concentrated sunlight, which will pass through the steam turbine. The electrical generator with the electrical energy is produced. So you can look at that figure which is shown in page number, 1 second, students. Schematic of solar photovoltaic station is given there. Okay, right? So here you can see how it is connected. So there is you can see sun, solar energy, sun is shown over there, solar panel is connected. Okay, so that is how you have to draw the schematic of solar thermal power plant, through which what is passed? The steam. From the steam will be passed through the turbine, and a generator is connected, condenser will condense, there is a cooling tower and a pump is attached. Okay, so in this way the sunlight will flow, and there is a facility for hot water supply, okay, which will absorb there is an absorber which will absorb the heat energy, and the steam is passed from one side and water will keep on flowing from the other side. So how it actually works, I will explain you, students. So thermal energy which is generated from coal, okay, and nuclear fuel can also be used here, right? So instead of this, okay, so here thermal energy, how we can generate? From the solar radiation, okay, that is used for the electricity production. So how the different stages we can note down? We can write that the concentrators for collecting the sunlight should be there. There should be absorber for absorbing the sunlight. There should be a steam turbine. There should be electrical generator and electrical energy. So many reflectors will reflect and concentrate the solar radiation on the absorbers. And this solar energy is converted into heat energy. And using heat energy, steam is generated to drive the turbine and generator. Okay, so the schematic diagram is given in page number 59. You can see there how it is done. Also, solar photovoltaic station is also shown in page number 58, where you can see how the energy from light is used, okay, which is used by inverter and transformers. Solar arrays are fitted over there, right? So I was telling you about solar photovoltaic cell, right? So okay, students. So I hope you understood the topic very well, right? So let me ask some questions based on this, right? So that it will be much more clear to you. Okay. So let us begin the questionnaire session where you will give the answers, and side by side I'll be explaining if any doubts are there. Okay, fine. So let us move to the questionnaire session.